Yes,
Guys, is it okay to record the class?
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mari. Let's go,
Yeah.
guys. Today I brought a very interesting topic, okay? Which is modern slavery. What is it, guys? What is modern slavery? Do you have an idea?
It's like an abusive system of work, like a modern slavery.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think it's like uh, an abusive work. Like you have to work hundred of 100 hours to receive little money. I don't know say
Okay, maybe if
lower
you, yes, a low wage.
a low age or no, receive nothing.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I think it involves also involves aggressive behavior from the I don't know how to say patrão
From patrons?
patrão chefe
Ah,
boss
okay.
boss
The bosses,
the
exactly.
boss.
Very good. Mari, let's think about something else, okay? In fact, guys, when you're talking about modern slavery, that's what Claudius said. Yeah, sometimes people work for a low wage, sometimes for no wage. But also, guys, there are some apps that we use that they can be considered kind of modern slavery. What are the apps, Mari? Let's think about the services that we get from our phone. There are two services that we use a lot these days, and I like to discuss them as modern slavery. What is the app number one to ask for food, to order food?
Happy.
Sorry?
I remember in other class you talking about it, the Hershey's, the chocolate Hershey's.
Ah, yes, Hershey is very famous. But let's think about apps that we use to order food. What is the app
Apps
number one?
the in
Yes, in the
having the
cell
cell
phone.
phone.
Sorry?
In the cell phone.
On the cell phone, exactly.
I don't
iFood, guys.
know.
iFood, we can consider them because
Yes, yes.
yes. Another one for transportation that we have been using a lot.
You Uber
Uber, perfect. Okay. Uber Eats because it's from
Uber
food.
Eats,
Yes.
yes.
So I'm gonna play here, guys, a video, and please pay attention to it.
Modern slavery. What do you know about modern slavery? Did you know that there are more slaves now than ever before in history? Did you know that many slaves are children? Did you know that people who are transported across borders are typically forced to hand over their ID and travel documents to the people who transported them? Here are some questions to discuss.
Okay, guys, easy that part. All right. Claudio, please ask question one to Mari.
Mari, how many slaves do you think are in the world right now?
I don't know. I think it's very
Very what?
have many.
Okay,
Many.
there are many.
There are many.
But
I
guys,
don't know that
the exact
the
number, but you can take a guess. Let's take a guess.
I
Both you and
think
Claudio.
100
100.
I don't know. 100,000?
100,000?
100,000.
Okay. What about your guess?
15,000.
I think
15,000.
it's million.
Million?
Yes. 100 million, maybe?
100 million?
100 million.
Okay, two very distinct guesses, okay? Almost like 10 times more, in fact. Yes, more than that. 100 times more, right? Good. Okay, good guess. Pay attention to that number, okay? Both Claudio and you, Mari. Mari said 100,000 and Claudio said 100 million. Let's see which of you is correct. Mari, please ask question 2 to Claudio.
What are some examples of modern slavery?
Slavery.
We just say a couple of examples, but we can also take an example. It's not like a comparison, but I think the system is similar, like the postgraduate system. Like we have to work at least 40 hours per week, and we usually work more, and we don't receive more for that, and we don't have any rights. And in my case, I work in the lab, and we are exposing with a lot of reagents,
Uh-huh.
reagents,
Reagents, yes,
reagents, and we don't have the security or we don't receive any kind of I don't know how to say, and plus money, more money. I don't
Yes, extra money, you can say.
extra money, and we don't have any health plans too. So it's common. Healthcare.
Or
It's
health
common.
insurance can also be.
It's common. People that work in the lab development a lot of disease like cancer, any of things of that, and the other things or other disease. And I think yes, and it's a similar, but of course there are many worse examples like Uber, iFood,
Shane.
Shane.
Shane was discovered, yes, guys. And there, very good, Claudio. I haven't thought about the post-graduation system here, but you are totally correct. In fact, do you sign a contract with CNPq?
Yes, we are not allowed to work in another place, and we have to work for 40 hours per week. But in fact, we work a lot of more.
Much more.
Weekends, a lot of things, and the supervisors, some supervisors are so abusive with the students, and like we don't have any right, like we don't have férias. I forgot.
Vacations.
We don't have vacation. And yes.
Good, very good. Now, Claudio, ask this question 3 to Mari. But guys, I'm going, first of all, let's talk about these two words, okay? Repeat for me. Slaveholder.
Slaveholder.
Slaveholder, it's a person who enslaves another person, okay? And most of the times, not just one person, in fact, more people, okay? And slave, guys, it's the verb, okay? So we have slaveholders, and enslaved, because it's the past.
Enslaved.
Good. Ask the question to Mari, please, Claudio.
Mari, how do slaveholders keep people enslaved?
This is a good question to discuss.
Yeah.
Yes, how they do that, guys? How do they keep people enslaved?
Well,
I don't know.
No
I
ideas?
think,
Good
or
question to discuss.
Good question to discuss and learn too. Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
Hi, do it.
Hi, teacher. Hi, guys.
Hello,
How are
good
you?
evening.
Teacher, I turned off my camera because I'm finished my dinner.
Okay, but just one question. Can I record the class? Is it okay to record?
Okay.
Very good. How are you, Duda? Everything's fine?
I'm fine. I finished my semester in the university. Oh my God.
Finished? You have
Thanks
finished.
God.
When? When did you finish it?
I'm last Monday. Last Monday.
Ah, that's good. Yes, vacation, Duda.
Monday. Oh my God, teacher, this semester. Oh my
Dear,
God,
dear, it's
Lord.
not a semester. I think this year everybody's tired of 2021.
Yes.
yes, my God.
Okay, Duda.
Oh,
Okay, you to turn off the camera, okay, while you're having dinner. But let's just pay attention to what we are discussing today, which is modern
okay.
slavery, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And let's go. Guys, let's think about this. Remember that when you saw the video, people said that sometimes, guys, there is a type of modern slavery that it's not so modern, in fact. In fact, people have been through it through a long time, yes, for a long time right now, that it's kind of when you, mainly women, yes, they go to different countries, like the person say, the slaveholder says, yes, oh, you're going to be a model, and they become sexual slaves. Okay, so this is a type of modern slavery too, yes? And how do they keep these people enslaved, guys? Because they charge money from this person, yes? For example, someone said, I will take you to Japan for you to be a model. And then when you arrive there, you have a big debt. Yes, let's pay attention to this word here that I just said. A big debt. Oh my God, where is it? Okay, remember that in this word we do not need to pronounce the B. A big debt.
Big.
A big
Okay, they say,
A big
oh, now you have to pay for your tickets. You have to pay for where you are staying. All this type of stuff. Okay, guys, this is also considered modern slavery. Let's just need my enter. Hi, Nisma. Hello, Nisma. Good evening. How are you, dear?
I'm fine, and you? Sorry too late.
Okay, sorry I'm late. Don't worry.
I'm
We have
late.
company today, Nisma. Take a look at the cat assistant. The cat assistant is sleeping.
Oh, Nene.
it's Pandora?
It's Pandora. How do I know? If I touch her, she's gonna kill me.
Menina. É, vai.
She does that all the time. Guys, in fact, Nisma, is it okay to record the class?
Ok.
Perfect. We are talking today, Nisma, about modern slavery, okay? Modern slavery. We discussed a little bit of this, but it's on the platform. You can take a look later, okay?
What is slavery?
Slavery.
Slave.
But
Slave?
slave, yes, we have slave the person, slave the verb, and slavery the noun. All right? Perfect. Now let's take a look at some more words, guys, that we're going to be working with then. Atrocity,
Atrocity.
hard labor,
Hard labor.
hard
Abuse.
labor,
abuse,
abuse,
Roughly.
robbery,
Probably.
ruggling,
Roughly.
roughly,
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 Bondage.
bondage,
bondage,
Payoff.
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 Perfect. Claudio, can you control, please, just while I go to the bathroom, guys?
Yes, of
And go
course.
discussing together. Sorry, Claudio.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
Mm, first, I think this is adultery.
How? How?
Oh, calma, 1 minute. Adultery. Adultery.
The
Cruelty
first one.
or the first one.
Okay.
I think it's
Abuse. It's physical
Physical
or mental
mental
violence.
violence. Yes. Payoff approximately.
Roll down, Claude, please.
Hard.
It's
I
Scroll
think
down.
hard labor. It's physically demanding work.
Yes. Bondage, the state of enslavement.
Oh my God. I'm
I
in
don't
doubt now.
know.
I don't know.
Maybe hard labor. It's year 5.
No, I think it's the fourth. Physically demanding work. Oh, to give money back.
Payback. Payoff, eh?
I think
To
yes.
give
Pay off.
Yeah.
Pay off.
Scroll down, please. To reach.
I'm laughing. I
Money
was.
back
Everybody's
after
talking
borrow.
English. Thank you, first of
Oh.
all.
I try.
Very good.
Well, I'm in doubt here.
Hard
I
labor.
don't know.
I think this 5.
Regularly,
Hard
maybe
labor.
it's
Labor.
approximately
Approximately.
approximately. Regularly, I don't know. But
Roughly.
I have roughly. I have a feeling that it's approximately.
Four is hard labor.
Good one, Mari.
Hard labor.
And 5 bondage. Okay, let's see.
Ha! Very
Oh my
good.
God! Work.
Oh wow! Can you see how it's good when we do work together? When we work
Yes.
together. Okay. Let's go by alphabetical order. Each one reads one for me, please. Claudio, Duda, Marinisma.
Okay. 1. To give money back after borrowing it to reduce or eliminate a debt. A debt.
A debt.
Payoff.
Payoff. Duda?
Me, okay. The state of being a slave, enslaved, bondage.
Mari?
Physically demand work.
Demanding. Very good, Mari.
Demand work.
Hard.
Hard labor.
Physical or mental violence. Abuse.
Claudio?
Sorry. Approximately.
Approximately.
Roughly.
Roughly. Duda?
Me, cruelly cruelly or
Horror.
horror,
Horror. Horror.
Oh my God, no. Cruelly
Horror.
Oh my
Horror.
horror. Oh my
Very
God.
good.
Horror. Oh.
Every time we have this HS, guys, we have this sound. More words. Fraud.
Fraud.
Deportation. Deportation.
Deportation.
Guys, let me tell you a story in English. Once I posted a picture when I was in New York, like as a TBT. And I posted like before being deported, but I wasn't deported. There was a person, like an unknown person, talking to me on Instagram and said, "Oh, did you get deported too? Because I went to the United States and I was deported." And I, no, it was a joke. I wasn't deported. So pay attention. We have deportation as the noun, and we have deport as the verb. Okay, perfect. Migrant,
Migrant.
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 vulnerable,
Vulnerable.
trafficker,
Trafficker.
shackles.
Shackles.
Perfect. Mari, you are controlling.
Oh my God. Tá controlando?
Yes.
Ai, senhor, não sei mexer nisso. não.
I think the first is
Migrant.
migrant. Yes.
I think
migrant.
Okay.
The second is deportation.
Susan, one play.
The third is
Traffickers.
trafficker.
Traffickers, a person that
Free.
a person who transport
Ah, sei
people.
o transporte.
Trafficker.
Que-
Yes.
Como é que desce aqui?
With
You
your
don't-
mouse.
You don't have mouse?
Yeah.
Ah, só no computador.
My God, I forgot the words. So can you scroll up? just a minute. Let
Vulnerable.
me
Shackles.
take notes.
Fraud. Vulnerable.
Okay, you can scroll down.
Deixa.
5 is vulnerable.
6 é fraud. Fraud.
Yes. And 4
Five.
is shackles. Shackles.
Ah, eu não consigo. Force shackles.
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 Peraí, quase que eu quebrei my jaw agora. Escutaram? Tá ruim, Mari.
Tá, não consigo descer.
Okay. Just a second. Let me go for you. Let me ask him. Nisman, try to control now. Fraud, vulnerable, and shackles.
Consegui. Go. Fraud. I think the
Okay.
6.
Guys, let's go interact to do the
A change or device used. Escape. I think. Oh,
I think vulnerable is
vulnerable.
powerless.
a power.
Powerless. Easily
And
harmed.
Tá clicando, né? Peraí.
in
Shackles.
Shackles.
Chains.
Scroll down, please. Very good.
Yay.
Let's with me, okay? Right now.
Oh,
Now let's go. Mari and Nisma.
Lies.
Together?
No.
Oh,
You're the first and then Mari.
okay. Lies used for purpose of financial gain, fraud.
Gain.
Gain.
True, Mari?
Or less easily harmed, vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Perfect. Now, Claudio and Dura, the same order.
Chains or other devices used to prevent a person from escape. Shackles.
Duda?
a person who transports people or things illegally,
Illegally?
illeg-
Legally.
illegally,
Illegally.
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 Daí não foi.
Just like
Illegally.
5 and 6, Nisma and Mari, please.
The act of being sent back to one's place or citizenship.
Citizen. You can also read citizenship.
Citizenship.
Perfect.
Deportation.
Okay. Mari?
A person who moves from one location to another for work purpose.
Perfect. Let's go. Now, guys, remember, I'm going to play the listen 2 times. Please pay attention because I want you to tell me what is the listening about, okay? Specific information. That's why I'm going to play it 2 times, all right? Can I? It's short, guys, only 2 minutes.
Modern slavery. Can we slave-proof humanity? When you hear the word slavery, do you think of atrocities from long ago? Films and books on slavery often focus on the transatlantic slave trade, which took place before the 20th century. Did you know that there are more slaves now than ever before in history? Even though slavery is illegal in every country in the world, roughly 30 million humans are enslaved today. A slave is a person who works for little or no money, under the threat of physical or mental abuse. Slavery doesn't always involve hard labor. Women who are forced into marriage or the sex trade are slaves. Men forced to perform criminal behavior, such as transporting illegal drugs, are also slaves. Sadly, many slaves are children. Some are kidnapped and forced to become soldiers or servants. Others are orphans who accept jobs in exchange for food and shelter. Prisoners who work for pennies a day may also be classified as slaves. Slaves are either forced or tricked into a life of bondage. Many people find themselves living as slaves after accepting a job. They are tricked into taking a loan to cover transportation costs and soon realize they will never be able to pay off their debts. Family members, including children, may end up as slaves as they try to help their loved ones pay off these loans. This type of slavery is known as bonded slavery. Though it is easy to get tricked into slavery, it is difficult to break free from it. Slaveholders use violence and threats when their laborers try to defend their rights or escape. Migrant workers fear deportation or prison if they try to leave. People who are transported across borders are typically forced to hand over their ID and travel documents to their traffickers. Even without physical shackles, a language barrier may cause a migrant worker to feel trapped in a life of slavery. Is it possible to slave-proof humanity? Teaching vulnerable people how to detect fraud can help reduce modern slavery. Watching out for slavery in our own backyard can also help. Where starvation and poverty exist, however, people will always be willing to take a risk for a small chance at a better life.
Okay, guys, kind of complex subject, yes? Something else, guys. This first listen that you just listened, it's in American English, okay? The second one now it's going to be in British English, okay? Let's go.
Modern slavery. Can we slave-proof humanity? When you hear the word of slavery, do you think of atrocities from long ago? Films and books on slavery often focus on the transatlantic slave trade, which took place before the 20th century. Did you know that there are more slaves now than ever before in history? Even though slavery is illegal in every country in the world, roughly 30 million humans are enslaved today. A slave is a person who works for little or no money under the threat of physical or mental abuse. Slavery doesn't always involve hard labor. Women who are forced into marriage or the sex trade are slaves. Men forced to perform criminal behavior, such as transporting illegal drugs, are also slaves. Sadly, many slaves are children. Some are kidnapped and forced to become soldiers or servants. Others are orphans who accept jobs in exchange for food and shelter. Prisoners who work for pennies a day may also be classified as slaves. Slaves are either forced or tricked into a life of bondage. Many people find themselves living as slaves after accepting a job. They are tricked into taking a loan to cover transportation costs and soon realize they will never be able to pay off their debts. Family members, including children, may end up as slaves as they try to help their loved ones pay off these loans. This type of slavery is known as bonded slavery. Though it is easy to get tricked into slavery, it is difficult to break free from it. Slaveholders use violence and threats when their laborers try to defend their rights or escape. Migrant workers fear deportation or prison if they try to leave. People who are transported across borders are typically forced to hand over their ID and travel documents to their traffickers. Even without physical shackles, a language barrier may cause a migrant worker to feel trapped in a life of slavery. Is it possible to slave-proof humanity? Teaching vulnerable people how to detect fraud can help reduce modern slavery. Watching out for slavery in our own backyard can also help. Where starvation and poverty exist, however, people will always be willing to take a risk for a small chance at a better life.
Very different, guys, the accent.
Yes, and difficult.
The tea tá pronto.
Sorry?
O tea tá pronto.
The
It's
tea is ready.
ready. The tea.
He's ready.
Because that bully, o bully.
Yes.
Yes, because they are so fancy, yes, they try to be
Yes.
something like,
I hear the both the English rich English is more like the Rio de Janeiro, the sotaque.
yes, the accent. Sotaque.
Biscoito, tipo.
Do you think? I think it's because they try to, not that they try, they pronounce the T very strong. Yes? There is this chiado.
Yes.
That we do not have in American. Okay, guys, but each one of you, please tell me something about the listen. And if someone says something, the other student cannot repeat. Okay, your own ideas, simple things. Okay.
Okay, can I start?
Yes.
Well, I take some notes.
I took it.
Some notes, and
You say I took it, or it was my impression. Just took because it's already passed.
I took some notes, and I think the listening starts talking about the modern type of slavery, because we have a cinematic view of the slavery, like the atrocity that occurred in the past with Black people and indigenous, and now we kind of don't see the modern slavery or we see and we normalize the, this kind of behavior. I don't.
Mhm.
And yes, I
Good one, Claudio. For the start, like it was, they discussed it this more in the beginning of the.
yes, the
Yeah,
beginning.
very good. But guys, did you pay attention to the number that we discussed in the beginning?
Yes, it's
No.
like million, but I didn't get the exact number. I just get the million. I think 34 million.
No.
I understand 20, 30, 40. Finish to
With T,
T,
yes,
it's T,
it's 30. It's
30 million.
30.
30 million. Very good.
Wow.
Something else, Mari? Your compliment to our discussion, please.
I remember in the audio, it's talking about it to the slavers, the
Okay.
enslavers, no?
What do you mean?
Have slaver, you have
Either there are.
there are slaver and enslaver. Yeah?
I'm not getting what you're saying. There are slaves and
Slavers, slave holders, and enslaved.
okay. There is the
Slavers,
slave holder. It's the person who enslaves someone else. Yes,
the boss.
kind of the boss. Yes,
Kind of the boss.
yes, but very kind of
No.
because in fact it's a criminal.
No,
Yes.
yeah. I in the audio is talking about it. Enslaved have children, and children is enslaved.
Children are enslaved.
Children are enslaved too,
Okay.
or so are when in troca,
In exchange of
in exchange of food, money, or help your family.
their families or shelter.
Yeah.
Yes, guys, do you remember this word, shelter?
I remember
Protection.
the music of bird shelter. I love it.
Shelter is a place, guys, generally with a coverage, okay, where you can sleep. Okay, your house is your shelf, of course. Okay, good. Nisma, your contribution?
Mari notes the situation when I note because
Noted.
nowadays have more slaves than
There are.
others. There are
Remember that
more
there are.
slaves than others years.
Mhm.
And ai meu Deus,
There are
tô
two.
nervosa hoje.
Don't get
Ai,
nervous. It's only us. Breathe
hã?
out.
Eu tô assim, hoje eu tô. In the situations, the audio said to us about the more slaves not have money in the accept the jobs when don't receipt
Receive?
receipt the
Receive, you know?
your receive your
Your no, not mine. There.
their jobs though they're slaves.
Mhm.
The situation is slaves. And in the finish the audio they ask to us and the vulnerability these people
The
in
vulnerability, very good
look
word.
at the backyard they look at the backyard the situation and they see the situation and they talk about the situation.
Take a look at here. Here we have an example of a slave holder. Pandora is a slave holder. She is the slave holder because if I do not put if I do not feed her, she kills me. So we have this type of modern slavery here at my house too. Duda, your contribution, baby.
I understand, and I addition the commenters, the Mary,
Okay, but not
the
addition. Okay, pay attention, Duda. Addition is a noun. You want to use it as a verb. I add.
I add uh, the the how can I say fala oh, meu Deus do
A
céu, the
speech.
talking, the speech, the Mary
Mari's speech.
Mary speech. In more situations, the traffickants
The traffickers.
law to
Traffickants,
families,
no, there isn't this word in English. It's not traffickants. We saw in the vocabulary preview.
traffickant,
Traffickers.
traffickers. More situation the traffickers allow to family to allow the family about situation pay to the children, and as the family the children go to the other place, other country to study, to have a good life,
Good life. You're
good
correct.
life, and more case the family accept this
Remember that
situation,
in English, accept.
accept accept the situation, and how can I say impose impulsionar, e tipo como
Impose,
fosse
impose. But
impose.
can, but who? Remember, guys, that you can never start a sentence. Guys, I want you to pay attention to this format, okay? That I'm going to explain now. Sometimes I know that you have doubts in the construction of the sentence, but think with me. Every time you are using a verb, you need a person. Always organize this in your head. The verb is going to tell what somebody else is doing. So always is going to be in that sentence. What's the verb you use it? Do that right now.
uh,
I forgot the verb you just said. Imp- impose.
impose,
Oh,
tipo
okay.
impulsionar.
Yes, but
The
who?
family,
The
the
family
family,
poses. Can you see?
the family. Oh, the family post. The children go with the
With the traffickers.
traffickers.
Very good. Very good. But guys, there is something very nice in this lesson that I love. That's the title. Pay attention to this. Sorry. Slave proof. We are using here slave proof as a verb. I'm gonna give you an example. If you are a police officer, you generally have something here you wear, kind of a special uniform that is bulletproof. Got it? Bulletproof. That's good. Now, in this meaning here, we are talking if we can be, if the humanity can be slave proof. That's a very complex definition, yes?
Yes.
Can you slave proof humanity? Because you know, guys, that slavery, as we discussed it, I don't remember who said that. I think it was Claudio. Like, when we think about slavery, we think about black people on ships coming from Africa, and we forgot that we have even here, of course, close to us, we have these types of slavery. Yes, different types, but as terrible as the last ones. Good? Good thing here, guys. Pay attention. I want you to, I'm gonna play here. You tell me to complete, and then I'm gonna give you like 1 minute for you to read in silence and say, teacher, I have a doubt in this pronunciation or in that pronunciation, okay?
Modern slavery. Can we slave-proof humanity? When you hear the word slavery, do you think of atrocities from long ago? Films and books on slavery often focus on the transatlantic slave trade.
Transatlantic. Transatlantic. Yes? Got it?
Got it, but
Which took
But what?
What's complex? What's complex? Transatlantic. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's not a common word. So
Yes, it's not. I agree with you, mister.
Focus on the transatlantic slave trade, which took place before the 20th century. Did you know that there are more slaves now than ever before in history?
In
history.
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 Even
I
though
love it too.
slavery is illegal in every country in the world, roughly 30 million humans are enslaved today.
Very good. Guys, 1 minute for you to read in silence and tell me if you have doubts with the pronunciations, okay?
Teacher, can I say now or in the
Yes, you can
the
correct.
the 20th century?
20th.
20, oh my God, I have so difficult
20th
20th
century.
century 20
20th.
20th.
Perfect. That's correct. I don't want anybody
Teacher,
making mistakes during the reading, okay?
teacher, how's pronunciation? Even though
Even though,
slavery? Oh, repeat, teacher. I don't
even
understand.
though,
Even though,
even though,
even though it's illegal, robbery,
roughly.
Atrocity,
slavery.
Sorry?
atrocity,
Atrocities.
atrocity. E
Sorry?
after before the 30 millions whole group,
Roughly. Roughly.
roughly.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Even though.
even though
Okay, guys, let's go.
That's good.
Good. The order is going to be Nisma, Mari, Clório, Duda. Hi, Hon.
To say now?
To read now.
Okay, to read now. Can we slave proof humanity?
Humanity?
When you humanity,
No,
when you hear the
humanity.
humanity, when is slave proof humanity? When you hear the word slavery, do you think of atrocities from long ago? Films and books on slavery often focus on the transatlantic slave trade, which took place before the 20th century.
20th.
Did you 20th century? Did you know that there are more slaves now than even before in history?
Then
Have
ever.
you thought than ever before in history? Ever thought slavery is illegal?
Even though.
Okay, sorry. Even though slavery is illegal in every country in the world, half,
Roughly.
roughly 30 million humans are enslaved today.
Slaved.
Enslaved.
Just pay
Enslaved
attention,
today.
Isma. You are confusing.
Humans.
No, you know. Human. Human.
Human. The age. Okay.
Yeah.
Human.
Go, Mari, now.
when you hear the word slavery, do you think of atrocities from long ago? Films and books on slavery often focus on the
No, you can read all the words. Transatlantic.
focus on the transatlantic
No, it's
slave
not.
trade.
It's not It's transatlantic. Okay.
Transatlantic.
Você tá misturando, Mari, com translate. É transatlantic. Transatlantic.
Transatlantic slave trade, which took place before 20th,
20th.
20th century. Did you know that there are more slaves now than ever before in history? So slavery is illegal in every country in the world.
Every
Every
country
country in the world.
roughly. No.
Roughly.
Guys, repeat. We have seen this word already more than 10 times. Roughly. If you have a pencil there, please put that it's almost like F sound. Roughly.
30 million humans are enslaved today.
Perfect. Next.
Hmm?
Yes.
Me?
It's Claudio.
Me?
The last one is you, okay?
Okay.
And then the second paragraph is going to be the opposite.
Okay. Can we slave-proof humanity? When you hear the word slavery, do you think of atrocities from
Atrocities?
atrocities from long ago? Films and books on slavery often focus on the transatlantic slave trade, which took place before the 20th century. Did you know there are more slaves now than ever before in history? Even though slavery is illegal in every country in the world, roughly 30 million humans are enslaved today.
Very good.
Enslaved.
Very good. Paragraph 2, guys. So, remember in the beginning of the class that Claudio guessed 100 million, yes, Claudio?
Yes, 100 million.
And what was your number, Mari? 100,000, yes?
100,000, yes.
100,000.
Mari win. Because it's like a lack of 70 million for me and 30 for her.
Yes.
So she won.
Very good. Guys, did you pay attention to what we discussed there before when people go to other countries? Yes, like sex trade. Let's go to this paragraph.
The transport teacher the children to sex
Very good question, Duda. But remember that when you're talking about that, it's not all about children. It can be adults or children. Of course, if it's a case of enslaved people being sexually traded, and if it is a child, like the worst case scenario. Okay? Good.
The subject, remember the chain, AliExpress.
Shein, yes. AliExpress. Zara too. Yes. I don't buy Zara anymore because of the case of racism. Have you heard in Recife?
No.
Yes. Zara, that people who worked for Zara said that they have a code if a black person enters the store and starts like browsing. So they have a code for that.
My God.
Just because the person is black. So that's why I don't buy there anymore. As a black person, we need, yes, guys. Leleu! Bye!
A slave is a person who works for little or no money under the threat of physical or mental abuse. Slavery doesn't always involve hard labor. Women who are forced into marriage or the sex trade
into marriage
are slaves.
Guys, please do not say mariage, okay? Mariage, it's a place here to marriage. If you are speaking Portuguese, that's okay to say mariage. Go there, but in English, marriage. Please.
Slaves, men forced to perform criminal behavior, such as transporting illegal drugs, are also slaves.
Guys, do you know that there is a name for this in Portuguese? Yes, a person who is forced to. Sometimes the person is not forced. Sometimes the person receives money to transport drugs. Yes, we call it here mula.
Mm.
Sadly, many slaves are children. Some are
Sadly,
kidnapped and forced to become
Sadly,
sadly.
soldiers or servants. Others are orphans who accept jobs in exchange for food and shelter. Prisoners who work for pennies a day may also be classified as slaves.
okay, guys. Another minute for you to silently read the text, please. Tell me when you're finished.
Okay.
Something, guys, there to ask me for the pronunciation or meaning?
Pennies is like
Pennies, it's like, guys, cents. Okay?
Cents. 1 penny,
Cents.
2 pennies.
Yes.
cents.
Yes.
Hum?
Because a penny is
Centavos.
worth 1 cent in United States, ok, guys?
Cents.
Ah, Maria, deixa eu até. Vixe, Maria, não vou nem pesquisar, porque eu com medo. Não vou pesquisar, deixa aí.
Agora!
Yeah,
Ainda bem que eu não pesquisei, meu
this
Deus.
word is like
Menina, por um minuto.
Por um
trigger,
minuto,
this trigger.
chega, eu fiquei vermelho, ó. Vou ver como é que fala. Deixa eu primeiro ver se tá aqui correct. Guys, por favor, don't kill me. Ai, ainda bem que a imagem é compartilhável. Ok, guys. Ainda bem que eu não errei nenhuma letrinha, senão tinha sido um problem. You were terrible. Okay, guys, so we got the meaning of penny the same as cents, okay?
Cents.
One curiosity, guys. You know that we use cents here if you're talking about in Portuguese, if you're talking in American English. But do you know that in United Kingdom they have a specific name for penny? It's pensy. They do not say,
Pence.
if you are in London, it's not going to be £5 20 cents. It's going to be
Pence.
£5 20 pence. Okay? Good to know? Any doubt, guys, here in the pronunciation, meaning, or etc.?
For food and shelter.
Shelter. Shelter, Mari, means
What's a soldiers?
a place where you stay, okay? Shelter. Sorry, Nisma?
Soldiers.
Soldier. A person who fights in the war. Like from the police. Not from the police, but from the army.
Mm.
And there is a song.
The soldier.
A soldier.
Ah,
Okay,
Yes.
Mari, what was your other one?
Kidnapped,
Sorry?
na, kidnapped,
This
Kidnapped.
some are kidnapped.
Kidnapped. Kidnapped, it's a verb, okay, guys? Let me show you here the action. When you get someone, guys, most of the times, children, okay? It's not raptate, okay? Kidnap.
kidnapped,
Good?
Kidnaps.
The other one, shelter, Mari. Let me show you a shelter. Shelter is a general name, okay, guys? This is a shelter. It's not a cabin.
Oh.
It's a shelter. Most of the times, guys, a shelter it's somewhere where there is something over your head, okay? Where there is a roof. Okay? Easy? Any more words? Now it's going to be the other way around. Who was the last one last time? Nisma, yes?
No, it's
Me?
Duda. Duda did not read, so I think she is now gonna read.
You didn't read Duda this one? Oh my god, I jumped at you, babe. Sorry. So now we're going to read this first and the second paragraph, please.
Oh, no, teacher. The second paragraph.
Just a second.
Okay. A slave is a person who works for a little or no money under the fear of the
Threat.
threat, threat of physical or mental abuse. Slavery doesn't always involve hard labor. Women who are forced
Plural. What is the plural of woman?
women, no,
Women.
women. Oh my God, sorry, teacher. Women who are forced into marriage,
Marriage.
or the sex trade are slaves. Men forced to perform criminal behavior such as
Such
transporting
as.
such as transporting illegal drugs are also slaves, sadly.
Okay, are also slave. There is a period. Sadly.
Sadly.
Let me just organize it here, okay? Sadly.
Okay. Main slaves are children. Some are kidnapped and forced to become soldiers or
Servants.
servants. Others are orphans who
Orphans.
orphans who accepted jobs in exchange for food and shelter.
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 Very good. Just pay attention, guys. Every time you have two C's, you have to read both. Except.
Accept.
No.
Jobs in
Except.
accept.
Perfect.
Jobs and exchange for food and shelter.
Mm-mm. You're
Shelter.
reading. No, you are reading Duda as if it was D and it's T. Shelter.
Shelter. Shelter. Prisoners who work for pennies a day may also be classified. Eita, eu fiquei gaga agora. Classified. Classified as slaves.
Okay, but you were correct to do that when you say pennies, okay? There is no difference between those two pronunciations. Okay, who's next? It's Claudio?
Yes.
Yes, it's me. A slave is a person who works for little or no money under the threat of physical
Under the
or
threat.
the threat or of physical or mental abuse. Slavery does always involve the hard labor. Women who are forced into marriage or sex trade are slaves. Men forced to perform criminal behavior such as transporting illegal drugs are also slaves.
Are
Sadly,
also
are also slaves. Sadly, many slaves are children. Some are kidnapped and forced to become soldiers or servants. or servants. Or there are orphans who accept jobs in exchange for food and shelter. Prisoners who works for pennies, are they may also be classified as slaves?
Very good, Claudio. Very good read and pronunciation, mister. Who's next?
And these
Mari, I think.
It's Mari.
The other alphabet.
A slave is a person who works for little or no money under the tree of physical of
Under the, guys, second time.
under the tree
Threat.
threat or physical or mental abuse. Slavery doesn't always involve hard labor. Women who are forced into marriage or the sex trade are slaves. Forced to perform criminal behavior such as
No, sure, no. Such as.
such as transporting illegal drugs are also slaves. Sadly, many slaves are children. Some are kidnapped.
No. Guys, let's read it.
Kidnapped.
No. The same as if it was separated. Kidnapped. And forced.
Some are kidnapped and forced to become soldiers or servants. Others are orphans who accept jobs in exchange for food or in shelter.
No, shelter. Double C, Mari.
Shelter.
Yes, but double C here, guys. Accept. Okay? Keep going. Prisoner.
Accept jobs in exchange for food and
shelter.
Prisoners who work for pennies a day may also be classified as a slave.
Very good. Who's the last one, Nijma?
A slave is a person who works for little or no money under threat or physical or mental abuse. Slavery doesn't always involve hard labor. Women who are forced into marriage or the sex trade are slaves. Men forced to perform criminal behavior, such as transport illegal drugs, are also slaves. Sadly, many slaves are children. Some are kidnapped and forced to become soldiers and servants. Others are orphans who accept jobs in exchange for food, shelter. Prisoners who work for pennies a day may also be classified as slaves.
Very good reading. The last one, guys, there is always, when you are the last to read,
I treinei.
You trained
Mute train.
Very good.
Slaves are either forced or tricked into a life of bondage. Many people find themselves living as slaves after accepting a job.
After?
Accepted.
What do I say, guys? When there are two you have to read both things.
Accept. Menino, depois de accept.
I'll never forget.
They are tricked into taking a loan to cover transportation costs and soon realize they will never be able to pay off their debts.
Perfect. Guys, loan. Do you know when you are need money and you go to the bank and you say, please, can you lend me 5,000 reais? I'll pay in 10 times. Okay? What's the name of that? Loan. Okay? When you go to the bank and you ask for money. And guys, suppose here.
Change, no? Change, okay, and the anúncio, the change.
What do you mean? No, when you go
the process is loan.
No, the process is when you ask money for the bank. You go to Brazil Bank. Okay, you go to Brazil Bank And you ask, I want 10,000 reais.
In the
And
bank,
And the bank, okay, you pay 48 times 48 installments of, I don't know, 500 reais. Você nem se dá. Anyway, okay? 48 installments of 500 reais. This is a loan. Okay? Perfect.
Family members, including children, may end up as slaves as they try to help their loved ones pay off these loans.
loans.
This type of slavery is known as bonded slavery.
Perfect. The order now. Guys, I'm gonna give you another minute for you to read in silent. Finished?
Fabinho, this type of slavery is now a bonded slavery. Bonded, what's bonded slavery?
Linked. Linked is slavery because they are connected like with the same family. Okay? Is known
Non. Able to pay.
able to pay off their.
Able to pay off their debt.
There is no B.
Debt.
Debts.
That's
Debt.
Okay?
Either forced or tricked.
Yes, they're tricked into taking.
Não, em cima. Either forced. Slaves are either forced.
So slavers are either
forced or tricked
exactly
into
perfect
bondage.
bondage. Perfect. Now it's going to be sorry.
Themselves.
I didn't get Mari. Sorry.
Many people find themselves.
Find themselves.
Themselves.
Perfect. Duda, Mari, Nisma, Clório.
Slaves are either forced or tricked in the life of bondage. Many people find themselves living as slaves after accepting a job, accepting
Perfect.
a job. They are tricked into taking a loan to cover transportation costs, and soon realize they will never be able.
Just this one, okay? Duda.
Costs.
Cost is like João Pessoa. João Pessoa is on the coast. That's cost.
Costs, and soon realize they will never be able to pay off their debts. Family members include children may end up as slaves as they try to help their loved ones pay off
These.
these these loans
Yes, but pay
these
attention.
loans
You are saying as, okay, and as.
as
End up as slave as. Okay.
slave as or loans. This type of slavery is known as bonded slavery.
As or
Bonded
as.
as
Okay. As. Go, Mari.
Slaves are either forced or tricked into a life of bondage. Many people find themselves a slave after accepting a job,
Double C.
accepting a job,
Double C. Read the two C's. You're saying AS. ASS. It's
accepting,
good. Accepting.
accepting a job. They are tricked into taking a loan to cover transportation costs. Some realize they will never be able to pay off their debt
That's. Just pay attention to this pronunciation, Mario said. Cost.
costs. Family members, including children, may end up as slaves as they try to help their loved, loved ones pay off these loans.
Very good. But Mari, pay attention. Every time you say on, it's not on, it's one. Once.
One
More.
ones pay off this. This type of slavery is known as slavery.
Is known. There is the N. Is known.
Known as bonded slavery.
As known as.
Yes, bonded slavery.
Nisma?
Me.
You.
Slaves are either forced or tricked into a life of bondage. Many people find themselves living as slaves are accepting a job.
A job não.
They
A
are
job.
job. They are tricked into taking a loan to cover transportation costs and soon realize they will never be able to pay off their debts. Family members, including children, may end up as slaves as try to help their loved ones pay off these loans. This type of slavery is known as bonded slavery.
Perfect. Claudio?
Slaves are either forced or tricked into a life of bondage. Many people find themselves living as slaves after accepting a job. They are tricked into taking a loan to cover transportation costs and soon realize they will never be able to pay off their debts. Debts.
Yes. Please, okay, Claudio.
Their debts. Family members, including children, may end up as slaves as they try to help their loved ones pay off these loans. This type of slavery is known as bonded slavery.
Very good. Okay, guys, I think I need to discuss something before it's gonna miss these two paragraphs, okay, for next class.